Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Chaos, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Epasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, couscous, couscous.
What is up? What is up? I hope you survived Halloween. I hope you survived Halloween, and I hope you survived Halloween. I did not die. I am, in fact, undead. Anyhow, what's up, everybody? It's Monday. Woo! It's Monday after Halloween, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic Halloween, and I hope it went swimmingly. I hope your kids had fun. I hope you adults had fun. I hope everybody had fun, because it was Halloween, and now it's not. Now we must prime ourselves for the event of November coming up hot and fresh in under 3.5 weeks. Thanksgiving, which means we got to put plastic gourds all around, little tufts of wheat, all sorts of pilgrim buckles and nonsense, and then we'll cook a turkey. Oh, we'll cook a fine turkey with stuffing, cranberries. We'll check our microphone to make sure that it is properly tensioned against the weight of the gravity brought on by this hefty microphone. Then we'll all sit down and likely not have very many family members over, unlike other years where we would have lots of family members over. It sounds like we're going to have 3. The 3 that are in our pod will likely be here for Thanksgiving, because there's a freaking pandemic going on still, and it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. It's overly driving me nuts. I gotta tell you guys, it was a harvest moon full moon for Thanksgiving, for Halloween. It was on a Saturday with daylight savings has kicked in. Oh, lordy, daylight savings has kicked in. And, man, what did we do? Not much. We erected a candy chute to socially distance, send candy down a tube at children that knocked on our door, but they didn't knock on our door because they weren't allowed to come up to our door. But we did have to get a different doorbell that we put on a post down away from the door. Whole lot of extra Halloween work this year, guys. Just trying to hang out with my baby and hopefully have some kids come by. And it would have been fun. It was less fun, but we still had a good time. So, welcome to the year 2020. It is crazy. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, that was the weekend. Let's go over to talk about Patreon. If you are a patronizer, we have had a dramatic issue gone on here, and I want to drop it down every single number. We've gone from 215, 214, 213, 211, 210, 209 to, whoops, I got to hit the buttons here, 208, 207, 206, 205, 204, 203, 202, 201, 200, and then we shall delete this to go all the way back to 199. So we went from Halloween night, we had 215 patronizers. By November 1st, we've had 199. So we went down 16 patronizers. Thank you very much, guys, for whoever hung in there. I do know that, all right, I don't want to say the wrong person. Let me double check. I know that Janice had to fix her credit card, and that's typically what happens around the 1st. It's really like, it's one of those antithetical things of like, yeah, I have a Patreon where people are helping sponsor producing shows and doing the shows and doing edited content and all that kind of stuff. And then on the 1st, a lot of people's credit cards expire. And then it goes way down. This one was a little bit rough, but hey, what are we going to do? There's a pandemic going on. We have to send kids candy down a chute so that they can have some candy. Welcome to Pandemic 2020. It has been pretty crazy, so whatever. It is what it is, guys. I understand. Every time I go look at the people that have canceled their patronization, and I look at the let me see here. It's the button over here. Exit surveys. So people, if you quit being a patron, you can fill out an exit survey. Like if I said something that pissed you off, like I said, Trump is a con man, criminal, and you're like, I don't want to be a patron of this anymore because I'm a big fan of the guy who's been the villain of the United States for the last 50 years. You could put that in there if you wanted to, which I've had a few people actually do that over the years. I've had a few people that are like, you're lame, I don't like you, and my politics are different, so F you kind of situation. And that's fine. Hey, man, everybody's entitled to their own thing. Everybody's entitled to just kind of do their own jammy jam, and I'm into it, dudes. It's all good. If you don't like my politics and who I am and stuff like that, good on you. Got to do what you got to do, and that's that is what it is. I did get a big, long diatribe message from somebody a while ago that was like, I've been watching your channel for 7 years when you used to have a big, giant mohawk and you were punk rock and you were drinking beer and blah, 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 and this and that, which always kind of questions to me. It begs the question. I'm not sure what people's understanding of, if you're somebody who's punk rock, if you're somebody who has been opposed to the oppression of the working man, for the entirety of your life, what do you think my politics are, man? Like, I want Medicare for everybody. I want everyone to have health care. I want everyone to have food. I want everyone to have shelter. And I want everybody to be able to go to school and stuff like that. I mean, that's stuff that I have always 100% been on board with. And that's always been my politics. And people that politically oppose those viewpoints, I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, dude. You want people to be homeless? Okay, weird. Like, that's bizarre. Like, you want people to not have health care? Oh, that's weird. You know, so, and I've definitely seen a bunch of that over the time. But I will say, I can look through the exit surveys here, and I can read them off to you a little bit as to what people put in there. My financial situation changed. 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 My financial I can just keep going down the list. That's basically almost every single one. Some of them were some other reason. Some of them were I only intended to be a patron for a certain amount of time. But it literally has just been pressing on my personal mental well-being when I see how many people's financial situation has changed in just the small segment of people that follow this channel, and to just somehow be in the assumption that everyone out there is doing fantastically well is really, like, I think you really just have to be in La La Land to believe that that's the case. So my wish here is that everybody's financial situation improves, and that's it. That's all I care about. I know from my own standpoint, I'll be okay. I'll be okay one way or another. I will continue to make YouTube videos one way or another. I will continue to broadcast live streams as much as I can on Mondays and Fridays. Maybe I'll do more. Maybe it will be lesser if I have to do other work in order to keep up with paying my bills and stuff like that. But my wish is that everyone's financial situation improves. I really hope that is my wish. My wish is everyone gets health care, everyone gets shelter, everyone gets food, and everyone's financial situation has an opportunity to improve as the months go on here, and the continuation of this pandemic, regardless of what happens with whatever elections or any of that stuff. I just really, that's my wish. That's it, period. That's all I want. That's it. That's all I want. Christmas is coming up, and that's what I want. I'm not even Christian, but I celebrate Christmas as a holiday because I just think overall it just has a general good family tone, and I like my family, and I like giving gifts to people, and I like having meals together, and I like getting to watch football, and I love doing those stuff, and doing those stuff. Oh man, I'm just a man of many words, you know what I'm saying? I love doing those things. I love being a part of those activities. I love getting to see my family. And it's something that I'm a huge fan of, and that's why I celebrate Christmas, not because of religious connotation. So I just think it's just a good holiday to give some gifts to people and hugs and just the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? I just want more of the good stuff. That's what I want. I want more of the wholesome good stuff. I want to get that wholesome good stuff and just rub it all over my body and live up inside it. That's what I want to do. Anyhow, moving on, let's say what's up to everybody in the show here, because I just had a bit of a wild diatribe that I wanted to get out of my body. I wanted to spray it out there into the internet so you guys would have heard sounds with your ears and seen weird moving pictures over here of whatever it is that I'm doing right now with my hands. Janice Lumberg, first to the chat. The Zombie Drummer, Big D Smoke, Frank Dominguez in fourth. Is there an award for fourth? You don't even get copper, bro. Oh, no, I think copper is number 4, right? So you go gold, silver, bronze, copper, then Daniel Velez in aluminum, right? Who was after that? Who's after Daniel? Mikey Fishy gets molybdenum. Dave's Aquariums gets zinc. Punchy Paints gets tin. Yeah, buddy. Let's make a whole Top 10 metals. Heavy metal, mercury. Oof, loving it. But it is a weird Monday here today. I'm a little off sleep, kilter, weird. Oh gosh, guys, it's just been a wild weekend. I mowed the lawn yesterday. Today's weather is fantastic, and I just want to be out there. I want to be out there getting wild. You know what I'm saying? Steve, I just read in the chat, says check your patron. I will check Patreon here. We shall reload and refresh. Oh, we've got to check the emails here. Aaron K coming in with the $1. Uh-oh. That's going to put us. Oh no, we're going. I have to delete all three numbers here. Lordy. Aaron is Aaron K. We'll say Aaron K. I don't like to give everybody's full name out from the Patreon post, but Aaron K, a new patron, puts us up at 200, and Austin coming in puts us at 200. And what did I push? I'm pushing buttons. Oh, buddy. And Austin puts us up to 201. There we go. I do have to say something here about our YouTube membership before we move on real quick. We've gone up to 101. We were up at 106, and then it went down, and then it went up again. People have been rejoining, and I wanted to give a shout-out to the people that have rejoined. Oh, it's gone down. Oh, somebody just left since the beginning of the show. Okay, well, I got somebody left their YouTube membership during the show. So from my diatribe, that caused somebody to become not a member anymore. But I want to give a shout-out to Ginger Graves, Wesley's Fish Club, Lady Guinevere, Harmony Smith, and Largemouth Bass, who have rejoined in the last couple of days, and that's likely from that same thing I was talking about earlier. It literally has to do with people's like credit cards expiring and stuff like that. Our newest members, just a quick shout-out to the newest members in the last month, Clint McLaughlin, Paulette, Pipex, and Planted Aquarium 706. Those are our newest. And who's our oldest? I want to give a shout out to our oldest. I always like to check the oldest members. Jason R., Jesse Cadell, James Leiser, Fish Tank Barn, John Gilman, The Fishy Mailman, Daryl Dimer, Aquarium Co-op, and Groveside Aquariums, all at 21 months. You guys are approaching the 2-year mark where you get the 2-year badge. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the 2-year badge, which I think is exciting. And shout out to Judy CB. You know what? I don't ever see Judy CB in the chat, but she has been a member for like 20 months. That's pretty wild, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, let's close this thing, and we'll move right along before we get too entranced in our weirdness. Oh yeah, and I'm supposed to do a like button thing, whatever. I don't know. Hit the like button or something, I guess. Anyhow. Dank Tank says, what about leather? Leather metal? I mean, there's like a soft place in my heart for leather metal. You know what I mean? Hair, leather, metal. But it's not my go-to. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I try to stay at least within the last 20 years of metal, just to stay sort of contextual with maybe hearing something new that I haven't heard before, which I think is important for everybody to do. Fish Tank Barn with a $10 super chat straight up into the tip jar says you should do an election coverage like CNN tomorrow. Would be interesting. I think, you know what, I would love to do like an election coverage thing or something like that, but I am scheduled for work tomorrow, so chances are super slim that I would do an election coverage. And Tuesday nights, if you guys don't know, not every Tuesday night in America, which is Wednesday morning in Australia, I typically go on to Dr. Black 66. I go on his live stream, and we just talk about whatever, dude. Because why not? We talk about fish tank stuff, and it's fish tank people. That's for sure. But we just kind of talk about whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Because we're human beings, and we just kind of talk about whatever's contextual. Yeah, so, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this election. I mean, even my local the local state government was reminding people that the election, and I'm saying local election, presidential election, all that kind of stuff, doesn't get certified until 21 days after the election day. So they have that like 3-week period to whether they need to do audits or this or that or all that kind of stuff that's going on. So I expect there to be a lot of lawyer type drama here over the next couple of weeks that will likely be coming up, and it'll be a little bit weird. Andrew, where did I go? I was like reading. I've got 2 chats now because I got the chat here. I decided to put the chat back up, just to have the scrolling chat because I feel like it's friendly. I feel like it's a friendly thing to have the chat up on there. Maybe it like reminds people that this is live. I don't know. I feel like it's helpful. Andrew Holman says, it amazes me how those of us that grew up listening to the Misfits, Bad Religion, now care more about our fellow man than those that grew up singing in a church choir. I wouldn't say that that's 100%. It definitely isn't, but I can certainly see where you're coming from. A lot of the people that I knew that grew up being sort of on the cusp of, whatever, are definitely the people I think that are still motivated for the bettering of humanity, as opposed to sort of oppressive type things that I see from other groups of people my age. It's a little bit strange. It is definitely strange. Let's see here. Michael Sarr. Well, at least they are paying attention. Yeah, well, it seems like they were paying attention. Whoever was that bailed out. Somebody was like, I will no longer be a member here. I don't know who it was. I wish they would say when they leave, just so we know, at least, Let's see here. Mirdul Singh popped in to say hi, but I have a class to go to in a few minutes. I'll watch the replay if I don't come back in time. Ooh. Well, hey, it's good to go to class, man. It's better to go to class than really anything. You know what I mean? If you're learning class, it's good. I'm just in line now so I can watch chat again. Y'all behave or you'll get the button that does stuff, a.k.a. Dave says the band hammer. That's right. I got Punchy Paints. I got Joel G. I got Alyssa Bentley. I almost said Alana when I was reading. I think I saw Alana Suki's name. I think I scrolled past it. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got a weak mind. But we've got Alyssa Bentley also moderating. You got to watch out. Mismatched Socks is here. Can't hear the video because I'm not wearing headphones, but hey, everybody. Well, hey, how you doing? I don't know. Do we have captions anymore? I think YouTube got rid of captions. They were like, we don't want to have captions anymore, I guess. So I don't know what to say about that, but other than that sucks. It's terribly awful, bad decision as far as I'm concerned. How do I make this go up to the top? Here, let's go like that. And then can I make it? Do I have? Oh, I can actually I don't have to hold Alt. Okay. We'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we have captions anymore. We used to have captions, but now they don't exist. Oh, by the way, we noticed last week that Alyssa called in on the show. If you are a Discord member and you feel like calling in, I've got the Discord open, so if anybody feels like they need to call in, you can call in and let me know what's up. Maybe you want to call in and tell me I'm an idiot. That's possible. Okay, yeah, so the Discord is open for that, and let's see what we got else going on in the chat here. Dave's Aquarium says a good point. They will have to wait maybe up to a month and a half for states to finish certifying. Yeah, we're all going to have to be waiting in regards to the certification for any election. It's something I always kind of remind people that the news does report voting that's being reported, but it doesn't get certified for a long time. There's a whole process they have to go through in the United States, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out. Fishy Mindset says, I'll be missing the beginning of the stream. I'm filling out my official ballot. Okay. I would... That's definitely two things now that people have posted in the chat that are more important than watching the show. Voting and going to class. Those are two more important than watching the show. You could always watch a show later. So, Dave's Aquarium says, is that the October 23rd chat? Well, you could pop in there if you need to, or you can actually just... I think we have to be friends for you to call me. Let me see. Where is Dave? There's Dave. Oh. How do I friend request you? Oh, there we go. I'll send a friend request to Dave. There we go. Friend request sent. Because I think you could probably just call me via Discord. Like, you can just do a voice call. So, either way, we'll see how that works. That worked pretty well with Alyssa calling in. That worked well. Because we didn't have to go through the unmute process or any of that kind of stuff. So I think it was pretty good. Joel G says, I won't be voting, which is good because you're in New Zealand. So don't be voting here. That'd be weird. Michael, sorry, I feel like you could set up an ASMR video of your pugs breathing. It's probably accurate. Let's see here. Can I call in sometime when I'm at home and get the the snorting pugs on? Yeah. Yeah, probably. You could probably get the pugs on the show. We'll see. Scrolling. Dave says the video is getting weird now and then. Looks like the camera is losing sync or something. 1 to 2 seconds at a time. I think if that's ever happening, I would always just refresh and see what's up. Because YouTube constantly tells me now that I have poor connection, even though I don't have poor connection. So I don't know what that's about. But, it is just weird. Max Tomancock. Tomancock? I don't know. Hopefully I got that right. Says, what's up? What's up? Good to see you. Dave's gonna see if he can make the voice thing call. Zombie Drummer says video is fine. Yeah, it's always it's normally like a refresh thing. Like if you just reload more often than not, that is good to go. All right. I don't know. It doesn't matter how many times I try to block Twitter from emailing me. I still get Twitter emails, I don't know why. I've blocked Twitter from my email 500,000 times, it feels like. And let's see. Oh, we got Dave calling in. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, Joel.
What's happening?
If I click the right button.
Yeah, if you just call in, then you call in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So what's going on?
Not much. I was actually at home and I'm not in a meeting for once. So I decided I would see if I could get on the show for a few minutes.
Oh, I think I have your sound is on. Good. Last time I had a call in, I had the caller muted. So what's happening in your fish neck of the woods? What's going on out there?
Oh, geez. Well, people will see on Friday that I had an epic fail trying to get some angel eggs recovered out of the tank. That was a real bummer of a day.
The never-ending angel breeding situation.
Community breeding angelfish with bristlenose in the tank is not a good idea. I'm just going to put that out there for everybody. Don't do it. You can have ottos, you can have platies, you can have some types of snails, but bristlenose will mow the eggs up in seconds, especially if you got a nice big 6-inch male who's hungry.
Yeah, I think realistically there's very limited fish that I would say that I could encourage breeding in a community tank. Because mainly you have so many issues with trying to breed anything in a community because you're dealing with all these other fish that are constantly not even just eating the eggs and stuff like that, but just competing with the other fish and stressing them out constantly.
And I didn't even set it up as a community breeding project either. It just kind of happened.
Right.
I started with the platies because the platy fry are an interesting enrichment and secondary food source for the angels, and the angels will keep me from having 10,000 platies in 6 months.
Right.
But I figured if the angels could breed and keep anything to viability, it would just be a fun bonus. But when I see him laying a few hundred eggs on an easily accessible surface, I feel guilty if I can't get to them.
Well, I mean, I think if you could put him in like an egg tumbler or something like that. Yeah,
I just got to be able to get to them, though. I haven't been able to recover any yet.
Right.
Either because they get eaten or because it happens when I'm stuck in a day when I'm on the phone for 10 hours and they either get all fungused because there's fungus in my tank sometimes, and or they just get pecked off by snails and other fish.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's an unfortunate reality that I think we all have to kind of deal with from time to time. Like trying to get eggs out is a problem, and that's why I would kind of say like doing a community breeding situation is where it becomes so difficult. I would think like, I wonder if you could hang a couple spawning mops where in the areas where they've been breeding previously.
I think what I'm actually going to try, I've got some thin slate tile that I'm going to see if I can epoxy some suction cups to the back of.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm going to stick those on the glass near where they seem to like to do things. I'd really like to try to get the west end pair to not lay on the overflow pipes.
Right.
Just because they're tearing all the paint off of the dark one, and that's not good for them to eat. And it might be nice to actually do something with them. If I can get 10 viable, it might offset my food costs for a few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I had a buddy Paul that was breeding his angelfish in I think it was like a 280 or something like that. It was this really big tank. And
oh wow.
He was always kind of having issues with trying to get eggs out and this and that and the other thing, and he was kind of just going around with it for a really long time. And he eventually got to the point where he was like, fine, he just took him out and put him into like a 40 breeder and just went going that route. Because other fish were getting the eggs and stuff like that. And it did eventually work out because they were the, which kind of angels are the ones that are blue? They're like electric blue, something.
Yeah, those come from Germany or Turkey or someplace in.
Yeah, they're like from overseas or whatever, and it's one of the big reasons why he was breeding them because they were pretty expensive and stuff. So,
yep. I've got a 29. I could try that in, but in a planted tank, it's such a pain to try and catch a fish that doesn't want to be caught,
right?
And who isn't used to a net without destroying everything. So I may just get another pair from the store where I got these and put them in the 29 and see if I can make anything happen.
Well, it could be worth. That's honestly, I mean, if whatever store you're going to actually has fish right now, it's probably a worthwhile
It's actually one of the local shops that's supported by a lot of local breeders.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Although if I was actually going to try anything breeding for real, I would probably buy 40 10s and a couple of gladiator racks and start experimenting with platy breeding because those genetics are freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're pretty prolifically breeding too.
Extremely. I want to.
The guppies I got from Melissa. The guppies I got from Melissa pretty much breed at the same rate. And there are babies everywhere in that tank now. It's a fiasco.
Yeah, I'd honestly like to see someday if I can try and isolate that rainbow morph that I showed you a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be, if I could get that to breed true, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I just got a work.
That's okay. You
I
got to
just
pay the
got
bills.
I got a work text and it distracted me, but I'll get back to that later.
Got to take care of number one first, man.
Well, it just came in and I was like, "What's that?" And I lost my train of brain thinkings.
That never ever happens to me.
But I mean, personally, for me, like I'm not super motivated to do like breeding racks or anything like that. I know that people love it, and they think it's like the greatest thing in the world or whatever. But I personally am not a huge fan of setting up these breeding racks, having 40 tanks to take care of. Constantly like monitoring, like, oh, these guys dropped eggs, and just having this overabundance of fish, especially like with the pandemic going on right now. It's like I'm not sure who I'd be dropping off fish to.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of
I've got one
stores.
store that would take them, but for me, it's like you said, it's that motivation thing between, I got a wife and 2 kids and a job that sucks up way too much of my time, and
Yeah,
between life and the hit of the pandemic, I'm having a tough time doing much more than what I'm doing.
yeah, it's the
So
weird.
I'm
That's
not
like
as much as I have an opportunity to do stuff like that. There's no way I could muster the motivation and the attention to get it done.
right. I forget who I was talking to. I was talking to somebody just a little while ago. I forget who it was, but they were talking about how like a lot of people's weird impression of what it's been like during the pandemic is that you'll have all this free time, which
All those people don't have children.
well, I think all those people they're just making it up because like I don't understand who has this wild abundance of free time right now. Considering like what I talked about earlier, where how many people are just like, my financial situation has changed. My financial situation has changed. Like, I don't know who's working overtime, realistically, as in like, there's so much business that I have to be putting in overtime. It's like almost everybody's putting in overtime just to hit the regular numbers, right?
Right.
And amongst like being wildly busy at home all the time now because the kids can't go anywhere, or do anything, it's like there's no play dates, and if there are play dates, it's sort of like, well, what have what have the couple been up to, and their kids, what have they been up to, and
Right.
are have you guys been sick? Have you guys been tested? What's going on, right? And it's just this whole weird dynamic. Whereas before it was like the kids are just gonna go play for a while, like
Yep.
like yeah, the kids are gonna play
Yeah.
because that's what kids do.
We had a masked and socially distanced play date for my kids over the weekend, and it was just weird. I mean, they had fun and everything, but only putting 2 kids on the couch was like, oh, yeah, you're right. We got to put the other 2 kids someplace else in the house now, and gee, how are we going to keep them apart? And
Yeah, because like they don't. The kids just run straight over to each other.
they're 10 and 7. They don't think like that. So,
Mhm.
but I will say I do have a few friends who are both without kids and lucky enough to still have full-time jobs, and it's really amazing the amount of stuff they've been able to do. I mean, one completely rehabbed a house, and one has learned how to paint. And it's incredible. Right. And I love that they had the privilege to be able to do that. And thankfully, they are aware enough to recognize that what they have is an incredible privilege in the current state of things. Yeah, it's the people that I know who can be those people during a pandemic are the ones who are the most fortunate of all of us,
right,
with their opportunities.
That's kind of wild, man. I don't, I don't know. I guess those people do exist, and I probably know a couple of them too. Come to think of it, but that I don't think that's the aberration. Like that's the weird group of people, right? Like that has to be not the
They are
common.
the outliers for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the outliers. That's a good way to put it. You know, and it's like even some of the people I know that have a bunch of time, like their work has gone away. You start to think about somebody who's like a friend of mine has been a manager of a restaurant for 15 years, like running the restaurant, like not just somebody who works there, like somebody who runs the restaurant for the owner, like 100%, just, and it's like, well, we had to cut everybody's hours back, and then we tried to do to-go stuff, but people don't want to-go stuff because we don't, it's not really a restaurant that like has anything to do with to-go food, which
Right.
I told them, I was like, look, you need to redo your menu. Like, you need to redo your menu for the pandemic. Like, you need to redesign your menu. Well, no, we don't really want to do that. We have a traditional menu of what we're doing. Okay. And then 9 months later, they've just been bleeding so much money that they just had to close. And now it's like, well, what do you do now? Because now the restaurant's closed. It's like, oh, you have all this time on your hands.
Almost no income to no income.
Yeah, you have like no income coming in. Now what do you do? So I don't know.
The hibachi place near me went through that. And,
Fishy Guy 420 says, do you think the aquarium business will boom after this madness ends? What do you think?
I have no idea. I'll be honest. So much of the hobby depends on people.
Right.
And so much of the people depend on other things in society, that with society as broken as it is right now, I don't know how well those people are doing. I see a lot more people breaking down tanks and selling them on Craigslist and Facebook and stuff now than I did a year ago. This isn't the season for people to break down tanks, and I see a ton of it. And I see a lot of really nice equipment up for sale now that I didn't see before.
I have to admit, I've seen a lot of stuff for sale that I wouldn't have expected to see for sale.
I think some of it is people cleaning out their garage or their attic or their basement, but a lot of it is very obviously people breaking down tanks. I passed up a really good offer on a dozen really, really colorful Apistos last month because I did a little digging on the guy who was selling them, and yep, he's a cool dude. And he breeds Apistos in the hard Midwest water, and they do great. But he is very much on the socio-political and behavioral side of things right now that I do not want to associate with, because he is firmly anti-mask, and I decided not to go anywhere near him because I didn't want to do that.
Right.
And it wasn't because I didn't want his fish. It's just because I didn't want him breathing on me.
Yeah, you didn't want him breathing in your mouth?
I don't want him breathing on my sleeve even. But,
well, it's kind of weird. Like, I didn't want those people, and when I say those people, I mean every people, breathing in my mouth before.
I was built for this pandemic. I am a horrible introvert. The reason I'm talking to you now is because it's pictured on a screen and not a room full of people. If there were 50 people in a room right now, I would not be having this conversation. If there's 50 people on the internet, that's okay, because they are not real people.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
I'm
the
a really
world is too people.
Yeah, I mean, I would put myself in that category. Like, I'm an introverted extrovert, right? Whereas, like, I'm a pretty introverted, like, laid back person, except for in exchanges with people, right? Like, if I have direct exchanges with people, it's like, oh, okay, let's have a chat, but I'm not somebody who, I don't like going on stage or any of that kind of stuff. Like, it's not like, I'm not a big fan of that. Even if I was just up, like, playing drums on stage, I'm sort of just like, I don't know. like, can we just record it? Like, can we?
I was never a performer.
Can we just do a good recording of it, and then people can watch it? Like,
yep.
Yeah. Psycho Billy says, during economic downturns, people tend to entertain themselves at home more and spend on pets. So that kind of ties in with the fish guy. So I would say that in my experience and where my sort of where my knowledge exists would be so the fish business will continue, right? So if it's plants and substrate and lights and tanks and fish and all that kind of stuff, it will continue. We're definitely going to see a lot of big changes. There's going to be a lot of companies that don't have storefronts anymore. A lot of companies will just be selling online, and that will be really the only that'll really be the only space that that most of these businesses are going to exist. Like there might be a Petco and a PetSmart and that kind of stuff, and there might be some small stores around in some areas and things like that, but it's basically the people that have done the online infrastructure changes that will be able to continue going forward. And I think that's a big reality. Like, regardless of whether you think that's how it's going to be with fish, I mean, just look at Amazon, right? There's like, if you just look at Amazon, since the pandemic started, they've grown by something. I saw a report that was like 43%, which is insanity considering how big that company already was. And they're just selling everything, right? So it's like, just from the standpoint of just selling everything, they're online and they're growing and getting much bigger. I just think there's going to be a lot less places to go and check out fish. I think that's really going to be the big change, that we're going to see.
Yeah. And I'm very curious to see what fish club meetings and conventions and stuff like that look like next year. I know that the clubs around me, the Chicago Cichlid group has a quarterly swap meet, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't had one this year, except for, I think, maybe back in January or February. And it's a big boost to the club, and it's a big boost to a lot of the organizations that show there. Chicago Libraries and all those guys. The local impact is huge, and I'm very curious to see how organizers handle that and keep everybody safe.
Yeah, like I do not understand how anybody is thinking about having any kind of convention at this year. Like this year, I cannot imagine anybody that's like going to put on a convention at any point in time this year. It's really a question of like what happens next year. I mean, I could understand like if there's a vaccine and things definitely change, then I could see how things, maybe some of the conventions will come back, that kind of stuff. But also at the same time, like even if vaccines are available, like, are they going to be actually distributed to a level that we'd all feel comfortable like going to a convention, right? Especially with considering, even just the fish community, how many people there are that consider vaccinations like a conspiracy. Like,
yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with everybody here right now that like I'm not going to YouTube conventions where I know there's going to be a bunch of conspiracy theorists there. Like, those people generally aren't going to be vaccinated. They haven't been taking stuff seriously. I don't know what they got going on, and I don't want to be a part of that. I certainly don't want to be a part of a situation where, like, let's say there was a convention next month and I went to it or something, and there was a big coronavirus outbreak and 1,000 people got infected and 2 people died because of it or something like that. Like, I wouldn't want to be involved in that at all,
No, I don't. I don't want to be competent enough to be that culpable.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to be that complacent to just be like, well, that's just what happens.
Yeah. Is that some kind of weird self-assuredness, or is that complacence, or is it both? I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't understand the mindset well enough to peg it.
That's something it's something I certainly don't understand. But I really do, hope that the fish clubs can continue and
Yeah, they've been
maintain through
doing
this.
Zoom stuff mostly, but it doesn't replace the in-person thing.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like one of the biggest aspects to going to the fish club meetings is like trading stuff with other local people. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, hey, I've got a bunch of this Singonanthus, and I want to bring it down there. Who has something to trade, for it, or just donate it, or just donate it and go like, yeah, here you go, some bags of stuff, sell it to somebody for $5, kind of thing.
Fish Tank Barn says there's going to be a swap in Michigan this weekend. Yikes.
Wow. I mean, I think there's a way that you could probably do a swap or something like that if you did it like outside. But I can't imagine the weather this weekend in Minnesota Michigan would be good enough to have it outside.
I don't know what it's going to be in Michigan. Around Chicago, it's actually going to be pretty nice this weekend. But it's probably the last nice weekend we're going to get. But I'm still, I don't know. I'm still doing contactless curbside pickup. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, this week it's going to be beautiful in Detroit. Highs of 65, 67, and sunny. Look at that.
That sounds beautiful. It's going to be
so maybe they could do it outside. 60s. I mean, maybe they could. I mean, today it's only 48, but by the weekend it's going to be like 68 and sunny. So maybe they could do it outside. But
set up a bunch of tables in the public park and keep everybody 2 tables apart, and it could be wonderful. Even SEMA is going virtual this year, which is a convention that I never thought would ever be virtual. But.
Oh yeah, SEMA is. A good friend of mine does airplane seats, and she's like, yeah, I'm not even going to SEMA this year.
I was really surprised when they announced it was going to be 100% virtual.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine anybody could even feel remotely confident in just going like, yeah, let's have a big convention inside a convention center, which I don't know about, everybody watching or anything, but I've been to a lot of convention centers, and they're not they're not known to be the most hygienic facilities in the world. It's not what they're known for. Everybody and their brother
gets con crud whenever they go to a convention.
Oh yeah. Con crud is 100%.
And it takes like 2 weeks to get over it. It's miserable. I hate it.
Generally speaking, yeah. I mean, it takes me 2 weeks to get over anything nowadays anyhow, just because you guys can hear me still coughing. Hacking up phlegm.
Oh no, it's the Rona.
It's not the Rona. I've been tested. It's not the Rona. Kind of.
I'm just pulling a chamber.
I've been lucking out. I've been catching all the other stuff.
Conventions are terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a lot of the big ones. I've been to SEMA. I've been to CES. I've been to Comic-Con.
Yep.
And the number of people who are coughing into their hands and then shaking hands with people, and the number of people who are just in general showing up sick into a hot, humid, human-infested environment that is a breeding ground and petri dish for everything.
Oh yeah, it's just like terrible ventilation. Everybody's shaking hands and hugging and talking to each other and stuff. I mean, it's
or it's so packed you got to brush bodies with the sweaty person next to you to get through an aisle that's overcrowded or whatever. It's just it's bad.
Well, it's the same as a concert, though. I mean, you go to a good show.
Yeah, but at least at the concerts, everybody is there for the same reason you are. At a con, there's usually so much stuff going on that, the Ford guys and the Chevy guys are standing next to each other, and that's just insanity.
It's like, what is this? Cats and dogs living together?
Mass hysteria. Oh,
Mass hysteria. I tell you. All right. Well, I guess that's...
Conveniently, I have to run because I've got a call. I get to get out in 5 minutes, and I should probably do some stuff before I jump on.
All right. Get out of here, Dave.
Thank you.
Dave, get out of here. All right.
I'm gone.
Thanks
Bye.
for calling in. Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Dave's Aquariums calling in on a Monday show. We like this. I like this ability to talk to people and get some phone calls, you know what I mean, during the show. Maybe some famous people will become members someday, like Tom Cruise or something, and have them call in. Swamp Tao says, I got the worst flu of my life from Reefworks in Seattle a couple of years ago. I think I got that same flu from Reefworks, I'll be honest. I mean, I remember getting sick after Reefworks, so it might have been that. Who knows? The last couple years up until the pandemic, I've been traveling a lot and catching all the sicknesses. So I respect, man. I respect the people that can handle that and do that. And I've survived and been fine. So, yeah, just respect to that. But I can't imagine with the pandemic going on, if anybody having any kind of convention at this point in time could even consider themselves responsible adults. You know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like a responsible adulting thing. Okay. Back to the old regular part of the show. Let's see. Where did my I had a window open and it disappeared. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's back open. There we go. Fixed it. I fixed it via utilizing the mouse from the computer. Imagine that. Wave of the future, 2020. Let's see. Dave's Aquarium says, I got some awful crud from Aquashella in Chicago a few years ago, and that was nasty. Yeah, I would agree. You catch that crap from fish convention flu is like the extra nasty stuff. Wyoming had more new cases last week than the first 4 months of the pandemic combined. I am firm in my resolve to remain a hermit, from Punchy Pam. Yeah, I agree. I've noticed some outlandish numbers from, states like Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, stuff like that. So I really would hope that everybody, is just maintaining and staying safe. Sanitize your hands. Wash your hands. Just be conscious of what you're doing and not cross-contaminate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to cross-contaminate surfaces into your mouth, stuff like that. Wear a mask. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, if I can wear a mask for 12 hours a day at work, climbing around rafters, sawing things up, pulling wire, all that kind of stuff, I think you guys could handle it at the local grocery store, for a half an hour. 45 minutes. I don't know how long it takes you to go to Costco or whatever. Ooh, the phlegm is strong. So I just think it's all pretty straightforward, realistically. Janice Lundberg was wondering if I addressed Mike's super chat. I did. I addressed Mike's super chat, and that's the only super chat we got today. So just rolling with the normal chat. Janice says, numbers are on the rise here, Mike. I'm not going anywhere except to my daughter's house. Yeah, I mean, we have our pandemic pod, which is just it's just me, Vicky, Olivia, my mom, her husband, grandma, grandpa, and Vicky's babysitter, her husband, the kids there. That deal. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole pod. But other than that, we're doing everything we can. I mean, you got to do everything you can within reason. You know what I mean? But most of the stuff is pretty reasonable. So nothing too big. JH Aquatics stopped in to say hi, and I think he left. Max Toman says coronavirus more like Corvus virus. Oh, hey man. That's not friendly. I didn't invent the virus. I didn't have anything to do with it. Popping in to say hello. Snowed this morning in Vermont. Keeping warm. Appreciate it, my dude. Yeah, he's getting used to the new weather in Vermont, having moved up from the Virgin Islands. Can't imagine how rough this winter will be for you, but it will get better. You'll get used to it. Your blood will thicken up. You'll get some thick chowder blood. You know what I'm saying? That's my new band, by the way. Thick chowder blood. Just in case you guys were wondering, and you wanted to look up my new imaginary band I just invented. It's called Thick Chowder Blood. It's clam chowder blood. Let's see. Illinois has mitigation on every control zone now. Some are on level 2. Yeah, I don't all of the crazy stuff. All of the crazy stuff with the pandemic is level 2, level 1. I don't know. Every state's different. It's wild. I wish we had a cohesive plan that we were following. It would be a lot easier for everybody to have conversations. Wyoming is one of the top 5 states for cases per capita. It's kind of sad because we have such a low population. Yeah, dude, that's wild. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. A lot of people that I know that I've spoken to in Wyoming, a lot of people weren't taking it seriously, and I hope they all don't, get sick or die or anything like that. You know what I mean? I hope everybody makes it through this and we continue as a country moving forward. And a planet, dude. It's a planet issue. It's spreading around the planet. Aeroplanes and whatnot. Mismatched socks coming home from the local fish store with a new tank. Oh my God, you get a new tank? I ordered mine from Amazon a while back. And I should be finishing building the base for it someday. I don't know when. I've got some router work to do on it, and then I'm going to drop a little glass tank in there, and then I got to stain it. Got to stain it also, and I'm undecided. I was going to stain it charcoal, but then I was like, I don't know, it looks kind of funky when I put the camera on it, so I might stain it a different color. Might go brown. Like, I don't know, some kind of brown coloring. Just got an email. Oh, that's a useless email to you guys. I don't know. It seems to be some kind of ad for Adorama. Adorama has some kind of Cyber Monday sale. Is it Cyber Monday? Is that what's going on? Do I not even know that it's Cyber Monday? I guess. I don't know. I guess Cyber Monday at Adorama is buy a computer that's $50 off. Like, hey, man, $50 off a computer that's $1,500 is not an impressive sale. Get out of here. Sharpie's Models and Aquatics says, what's up? Big Tank Hank is here. Rogers Aquariums. I want global government and citizenship. I don't know that I want global government. I want everybody to have their local governance for sure, but I think it would something like, I'm not saying exactly copy the European Union, but I think if the countries had more of a openness like the European Union, where Austria is its own country, but it's a part of all the other countries, I think as a basis for some kind of model of moving forward. I think there's a bunch of stuff in the EU that I don't agree with, but regardless of that, I think it's a kind of a basic model of going like, okay, let's get things rolling because it's the future, like internet future. Hello, we're here. We don't have flying cars yet, but my Lord, oh Lord, to quote Dolly Parton, I seen a flying drone car the other day that is in Japan. Let me see this. Flying drone car, Japan. Let's see. Let's see if I can come up with some kind of... Japanese flying taxi completes manned test flight. But this is like August 31st. You know what I'm saying? It was like a month ago. 2 months ago. I have no idea what's going on in this pandemic timeline. That was 2 months ago, by the way. Was August 31st. So let's deal with that fact that just the other day was 60 days ago. But That doesn't sound too efficient for taxi purposes, but the project has Toyota backing and aims to have flying taxis in the air by 2023, which is not that far off. That's basically 2 years from now. Because it's almost the end of, we're almost 2021. So let's say 2 years plus 3 months is when their goal is. Let's see, where is, oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see if we can't save image as. Oh, we don't want to save it into that file, guys. Come on. This is an amateur hour around here. We want to save it into this file so we can actually... It already exists? That's impossible. That file already exists in here? Did I talk about this like 2 months ago and download the image of it? That's impossible. How does this already... Oh, wow, that is bizarro. Okay, well, that's weird. We'll call it flying car. Flying car drone. There. We'll save that there, and then let's pop this thing up and take a look at it, dude, so you guys can know what I'm talking about. Media files. And then we go over here, and we go over here, and we go to here, and then we hit this button, and it opens it up, and it looks like that. So this, like, flying drone car thing... Look at this. Look at this craziness. So he's got a helmet on for safety, right? Because he's got to maintain his safety. And, this is crazy. This is crazy wild. This is the first bit of futurism that I've seen in quite a while that is at the very least giving me inspiration towards the future of flying cars. Max is asking, I wonder what the advantages are of having flying cars. Less congestion, traffic, moving about. The reality that they probably would be automated, so they would probably fly themselves, which means that however long your commute time is, you could probably get there while doing something else or sleeping or not being stressed out or any of that kind of stuff. Mike was asking, you saw that in person? No, I saw it online. I saw the Car and Driver ads for it. Then I read files. Then I watched there's video of it. So no, I did not see this in person. But yeah, I'm speaking in the fact that like I saw that they had released this. I wasn't in Japan 2 months ago. So, but yes, this is happening in Japan. Very interesting. And I think there's some significant advantages. I think we could all pretty easily at least envision going like, oh, wild. But yeah, I mean, just the less having roads to direct routes to locations in remote areas, as Rico says. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of advantages to being able to fly around. I think also, depending on the technology, if the technology is something that doesn't necessarily directly burn fuel, it's probably something that could be worked out. I mean, my guess is there'd probably be hydrogen powered if I had to like wager what the fuel source will probably be. I'm guessing that it would probably be hydrogen. Like if I had to wager, you know what I'm saying? If there's somebody who's like $20, good sir, if I had to wager, I'd guess it's probably going to be hydrogen. But we'll see how it goes. Let's go Austrian representation. I have to admit, I've only spent like 1 day in Austria. I thought it was very nice. And the fish club that I went to in Austria was awesome. We saw the Guppy World, the Guppy Live Bear Olympics finals, whatever it was. It was a competition in Austria for basically the best live bears, guppies and stuff like that. Which was awesome. It was really cool. Everybody was really nice there. I had a good time. I was only there for 1 day, though, so I would love to go back sometime and spend some more time there. It was cool. Military drones are hydrogen fueled. Yeah, JH Aquatics you're right. And Toyota is working on a hydrogen fuel cell. Yep. I mean, that'd be my guess, is what it'll run off of. Which the exhaust is water, by the way. Water vapor. Let's see here. Spent most of the day moving furniture and putting in the new fry rack. Ooh, well, that's good times. Excuse me. Still coughing. Sorry if I blew out somebody's ears there. I try to turn away. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. All right, I think I'm kind of caught up. Ongoing situation in Austria tonight. What is an ongoing situation? I don't know. What is the ongoing situation? Mickey M, what's the ongoing situation? I don't know. I know a lot of people were saying something was going on. There was some kind of shooting in, what is it, Vienna? Oh, I guess that is the ongoing situation. Yeah, I wasn't putting that together. Vienna shooting live updates. Chaos after gunmen open fire. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's pretty awful. I don't know what's going on there, and I don't claim to know what's going on there. But I guess, yeah, that would probably be what's going on tonight, if I had to guess. I've never been to Vienna specifically. Where did I go in Austria? We went to... Let's see. We went to... where did we go? Where did we go through? I think we went to Salzburg. I think we went to Salzburg. I think we went across the border. No. Let's see. Where did we go? We went... Oh, yeah, I think we went through Munich down through Salzburg. Graz. Oh, gosh, maybe we did go through Vienna. I think we just drove through there, though. I don't know. That's pretty awful, though. I don't really have anything to comment on that at this moment, but it's pretty awful. I guess that is the ongoing situation tonight in Vienna. That's for sure. So shout out to everybody there. Hopefully everything goes well. 80K Aquatics says, "Who's ready for some election shenanigans?" I'm not. I'm not ready for it either. I just really hope everything goes fairly smoothly, and there's not a whole bunch of legal madness and crazy nonsense. I did notice voter suppression trying to happen in Texas, which they're trying to throw out 127,000 votes in whichever county in Texas, which is just mind-boggling to me that any American would be motivated to throw out 127,000 votes. To even just like spend their time on trying to do that seems like a bizarre thing to me. But yeah, that is really sad. I hope everything works out in Austria. Hopefully everything calms down a little bit. Let's see. Supposedly multiple shooters and at least one dead. That's kind of what I saw, so I don't know. I don't really have enough information to even really comment on it other than hopefully everything's okay. World War II era Japanese torpedoes were oxygen-fueled, hence the large fireballs whenever they got hit by enemy fire. Yeah, we have lots of rockets and things that are fueled by oxygen. So I think the space shuttle fuel source is, I think it's oxygen. I think it's liquid oxygen and aluminum or something like that. Let me think. During liftoff and ascent is supplied the fuel and oxidizer under pressure to 3 RS-2 25 main engines on the orbiter. Oh, liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen as a oxidizer. Okay, yeah. I thought there was like aluminum involved in there somehow. But I'm an idiot. I don't have anything to do with rockets. I'm not a rocket surgeon. Don't know how to do that. I mean, I understand you shoot fire at a one end and it propels the rocket moving forward. But yeah, hydrogen, oxygen, mix them together and... Let's see. It just got like really warm down here. I wonder if I have the heat vent open. I bet you I do, because it just got really warm and I hear the furnace going. And it got really warm down here. I'm going to turn my fan on. Oh, there we go. Breeze is blowing on me. It's so nice. Nobody else called into the show today. We got Dave call in, though. Okay. Let me switch that up. Austrian economics is what you all Keynesians need a good dose of, frankly. Oh, thanks, Joel. That's good times. Appreciate it. Let's see. Hydrogen makes great fuel, but making hydrogen into fuel is less great. Yeah. Well, mismatched stocks. A while ago, I got these blue shrimp for my big tank, and I'm not surprised they all ended up in the sump, so they're getting moved to a 5.5. Oh, okay, that's the tank you got today. Just a micro tank to put your shrimps in. I like it. Good stuff. Let's see. Vicky just showed up, and she's trying to be quiet in the background, but we can't trust her because she may or may not attack me. You're thinking of the Soid boosters, ammonium perchlorate oxidizer, and atomized aluminum powder. Okay, yeah, all right. So I guess that's the older version one I must be thinking of. Oh my God, we got another super chat, you guys. What are we gonna do? We got another super chat today. It's from Joel G. It's New Zealand. It's Kiwi. It's Kiwi money. Can we trust it? I think so. I think we'll just allow the robots to tell us whether or not it's good, and they will let us know. Thank you for the $2 super chat. It says, here's a freshly printed $2 coin. Dave says, solid rocket boosters, SRBs for the space shuttle. Yeah, solid. Sorry. I'm not a rocket surgeon, so I don't claim to even be one. I'm not a rocket guy. I'm a fish tank guy. And I do other stuff too, but not rockets. Janice Lundberg says flying cars and fuel 80K. He says, what are we talking about? I don't know. We're talking about all sorts of weird nonsense because the show's been going for an hour and 20 minutes, which generally gets to the point where we just start talking about weird stuff pretty much. 600,000 people watching today. That's pretty good. 46 likes. Seems short. I don't know. Let me scroll up here. I didn't see any other comments about fish tank stuff, so I think it's pretty much we're at the point where people are stressed out about the pandemic, or they're stressed out about economics, or they're stressed out about voting, or they're stressed out. I think it's pretty much where we're at right now. What was it? Where was that fish tank that I ordered a while ago? I ordered a tank a while ago. What happened here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's search the orders. Let's go like this. Aquarium. Where was the tank that I ordered? Do they not call it an aquarium? Fish tank. I guess they call it a fish tank, maybe? Huh. What would they have called it? I can't search my orders and come up with a fish tank? Let's see. What would they call it? What would it be labeled as? If I search through my orders, why would it not be an aquarium? Aquarium. Search orders. Okay. It showed up this time. I don't know. That was bizarre. But if anybody's wondering and they want to follow along with the tank at some point in time, here is the tank that I ordered recently. It's a nice little guy. I like it. It's like a reasonable size. If anybody's needing a big dose of a reasonably priced aquarium that you could just order off of Amazon and not have to go anywhere. Lighting, though, is a little bit of an issue, but I put a Fluval Nano over it, which actually was a pretty nice fit. But I don't know how much those are now, because I just had one. And that seems to be the marine one. We want the freshwater one. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh God, they're like $86.99 now. I guess that's not too bad. That's a lot cheaper than the ONF one, but might cost a couple bucks. I just had a spare one because I was using it as a sump light, and it fit really good. It fit really good. It fit really well. How about that? So that's a pretty good one. And I'm going to be putting the Dennerlay substrate in that. That'll be the test to see how well that performs. I was thinking about ordering some other of these tanks and doing some side-by-side tests, but then I realized, like, man, that is a monumental amount of work to basically promote other people's products, and none of the companies wanted to sponsor. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that then. I'll just do the Dennerlay one because they have been super gracious hosts. Everybody at Dennerlay was super cool, so I'm going to do that one instead. And ADA and Fluval can just be on the sidelines or something. But Fluval's been pretty cool too, so I was thinking about doing that one and just doing two side-by-side, but I'm going to have to remove a tank in order to do that, so it's may or may not just get pushed out. Because I do, realistically at this point, I am trying to recoup some business and do some construction and try and make some extra money before the pandemic really kicks in. Because as I mentioned earlier in the show, we legit have what's the word? Lost a lot of sponsorships over the years, over this year. I mean, Patreon was at 368 people at the beginning of the year. Now it's down to 201, and that's with adding in the two today from Erica and Aaron K and Austin. So, whoosh, it's been a rough one. Oh well. Petco dollar per gallon sales started for those people even less aware than me. Yeah, I feel like the Petco dollar per gallon sale is pretty much just like always happening. I almost feel like you could just go in and argue with Petco and just be like, I just want the dollar per gallon. I know you guys are going to do it. Just give me the dollar per gallon. And they probably have a code in their computer. They probably have a code in the cashier just to do that. Martin Dollinger said, I'm a total prick. But I don't know if he got deleted or not. I don't know. Seems reasonable. But I think he's, it didn't show up. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He says, no wonder people leave you. Oh, okay. What a douche. Bye-bye. Some people think I'm a total prick. Oh no. I feel real bad about myself now, guys. Hopefully I could be the person that you guys want me to be. Maybe I'll completely change myself and my personality so that you guys can like me from the internet. Is that something that I should do? Should I? You guys, what should I do? Should I become the person that you guys would want me to be on the internet so that you guys could like me? Should I start acting? Should I start being an actor for you? Oh, well, I hate to tell you this, but I'm not going to. So that's not going to happen. There's no real reason for me to change so that people will like me more. There's not really, I don't see a big motivation for that. Mellywell says, can you imagine? That would be exhausting. Yeah, wouldn't it? It would be totally exhausting, right? And by the way, I do know a lot of YouTube people that do that. They actually do. They literally are just acting on the internet. They just are acting like somebody else. Zombie Drummer says, I personally am a fan of your non-acting. Thank you. Let's see. All right. Well, either way. Hey, we always got to deal with the trolls every once in a while. Is what it is. I don't know. I feel like people that are trolling, they just are stuck in that position of like wanting to like get attention, you know? Like when you see like a 3 or a 4-year-old like throwing a hissy fit at the grocery store, they just want attention. You know, that's just basically what it is. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Glenn Tookshire says, it figures I get here just at the end. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you, buddy. I'm doing my first fish club talk on Saturday. Potomac Valley Aquarium Society Dwarf Blue Tetra Breeding Protocol. Nervous and excited. Are you doing that in person? Or is it like an online thing? That would be a question that I have. That's the question I have. Is there like an in-person thing that you're doing? I don't know. That would be weird. Seems weird to me, but I mean, maybe it is in person. I don't know. We'll find out. Potomac Valley Aquarium Society. Let's see. Whoop. Well, I'll leave that window open and I'll check it out at some point. Okay, there we go. Where'd my chat go? My chat disappeared. I'm gonna bring it back. There we go. Zoom meeting via Streamlabs. Oh, well, I mean, that shouldn't be too stressful. It should just be similar to like doing a live stream realistically, but just staying on script. I think should be pretty straightforward. I think it's weird to like be at a fish club and do them in person because most of all of them that I've been to are just sort of disorganized and like at a church or something like that. You know, some kind of building that is just not really prepared for a meeting. And I think that's ultimately like the big problem because you know they're just trying to organize a meeting at a place and you know, it might not, it's just like not ready for it. You know what I mean? How do I, what is wrong with this? Okay. I got to go. Oh, there's the button. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to fix that thing. And I think like the big thing is just dealing with all of the differences of like how everybody's got everything set up, got everything set up and it's like they don't have a microphone, so you're just going to have to yell. They don't have a projector, so you can't really like put anything up, or it's all kind of last minute stuff like that. So it's a little bit rough. Like it's a little bit weird, but it kind of is what it is. Just kind of comes with the territory as, hopefully as the fish clubs grow and we support them, they'll get more and more availability to continue going forward, So, we'll see. But I guess on the upside, JH, is like you could probably record it via your computer and like make a better version of it and turn it into a YouTube video. That'd be cool. Rico Stan says, looks like the 75-gallon will just fit in the back of my wife's car. Oh, and now I want a Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket. Hot Pocket. Holy crap. We've got a $20 super chat from Mikey Fishy. This is a 20 long from Petco for you, my guy. Well, thank you. I don't think I'll be buying a Petco 20 long. Although that was, for a long time, that was my favorite tank, and I had a ton of those. I think when I moved from Seattle down to Tacoma, I think I'd accumulated like 15 of those. And I think I gave away like all of them, I think. No, I gave away most of them except for like 3 or 4 or something like that. And then I had those for a while, and then I gave those ones away. I have a tendency to give stuff away. That's something that I regularly do. So old equipment that I'm not using, I generally just give it away, or I'll sell it for $10 or something just to, be like, oh, it's a good deal. I feel like if you post stuff up for free, you get like the weirdest people. So I try to just put a good deal up, and then you get normal people, right? So, although I will have to admit, selling that camera was no simple task, dude. It was no simple task. That took a long time. Weeks and weeks and weeks of answering really, really weird questions from people over and over and over again. And eventually found a really nice fella who was really interested in photography, was really interested in the camera. He knew what he was looking for. Cool dude, and was just like easier than pie. It was just worked out perfectly. It was fine. It worked out great. And we ended up going to Costco and buying too much stuff at Costco at the same time. Hot Pocket, man, I haven't had a Hot Pocket in years and years and years. Are they still terrible? I'd imagine that they're still terrible. I don't know that they'd be able to change the technology, but I do have some alternative ramen noodles that I'm going to eat after the show here, which are probably equally as terrible nutrition-wise, but they are delicious because they have this like crazy soy sauce coating and stuff that you put on them it's kind of out of this world, and I got to figure out what the recipe is on that sauce, because I would like to make some of that sauce homemade. I'd like to make some homemade. They have to still be terrible. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's no way. They haven't like streamlined them into making them like better or something. I don't know. Christine Kaiser's here. Hey, everyone, just a bit late. Yeah, you are a bit late. 90 minutes late, but that's all right. It's all good. Now that's a band name? Terrible Hot Pockets? Glenn Tookshire says, stupid question, what is a Hot Pocket? Is it Jim Gaffigan? Is it Jim Gaffigan that does the Hot Pocket thing? Jim Gaffigan Hot Pockets. Yeah, it's Hot Pockets. Jim Gaffigan does the Hot Pockets. I'll throw the link to it up on. Hold on, let me see if I can load this and not accidentally play it. Okay, we got sound off. Good. Let me hit that. Let me hit that old share button here, and we'll just copy the link. And then I'm gonna stick it up in the Discord on the live stream tab. Where's live stream? There it is. Boom. Paste. There we go. So in case Glenn's wondering what a Hot Pocket is, you get a good idea from Jim Gaffigan. A funny sketch. It's a stand-up comedian who I think is quite good, honestly. I think Jim Gaffigan's quite funny. Jamaican Beef Pocket. Yeah, they're pretty much they're weird, but I personally am not the owner of a microwave. We don't have a microwave, just out of chef rage, I guess. We don't have a microwave here because I don't want there to be a microwave here, I guess. I don't know. It's just some kind of weird chef thing I got going on. We might get a microwave someday, but if we had Hot Pockets, I wouldn't even be able to do anything with them because I don't know. I don't even know if you can cook them in the oven. I think you have to cook them in the microwave, and then they're like liquid fire on the inside and it'll be frozen on the other end, and just bad news. The other day we had chili and macaroni and cheese for lunch, and I feel like that's equally as bad for you, but almost better. Almost better. I don't know. Zombie Drummer says, but I've eaten 10,000 of them. Oh, my God. Rico has a large air fryer toaster oven combo that cooks stuff better. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, S says the microwave is the best. The sleeve is designed for it. Yeah, it comes with this microwaving sleeve that you put it in there. It's unique. I think it's uniquely American. I'm not 100% sure. Glenn's Canadian. He doesn't even know what Hot Pockets are, so I'm guessing it must be just uniquely American. It's just like there's a Canadian food that is like bread with stuff stuffed inside of it, like meat and cheese, and I can't remember what it is, but I think it's like some kind of French thing or something. I don't know. Did you see Saturday Night Live skit, the YMCA song? I did not. I saw some of the Saturday Night Live with what is his name? John SNL. Let me see. John Mulaney. Gosh, I was gonna say John's, and then just be confused. John Mulaney, and it was all right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are some laughs on. There's definitely some laughs on Saturday Night Live, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that they're like getting better. I think that's the thing that gets me with Saturday Night Live. Is like I don't know if they're getting better at doing sketches and stuff. I think that's like the underlying concern that I have, where I'm not like laughing a lot whenever I watch Saturday Night Live, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think that there's something like that that's going on in my head whenever I watch Saturday Night Live. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem that great. Like I feel like I know the jokes that are coming, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, that was funny. Anyone microwave pizza rolls? Pizza rolls are supposed to get microwaved, but they're better if you cook them in the oven. Conan is the king of late night shows. I will agree with that. Yes. But David Letterman was definitely the king before Conan, and like David Letterman was really the inspiration for Conan to be like pretty wild. You know what I mean? and kind of think outside of the box. If you've seen any of the younger days of David Letterman, you would really see that, like, you'd be like, oh yeah, you could see the connection of, like, David Letterman was doing all this kind of like wild, goofy stuff, and then kind of mild, he kind of mellowed a little bit, and then Conan kind of picked up the ball and ran with it. And, if you haven't seen the In the Year 2000 sketch, I recommend watching that because it's just funny. Watch it over and over. There's a whole bunch of them. You can watch them all in a row, and you'll eventually be laughing so hard you lose your mind. Mismatched socks. Pizza rolls are best deep fried. I'll agree with that. Yep. I've actually deep fried them in a restaurant a bunch of times, and that probably is the best. I just don't think most people have a deep fryer at their house. It's a big pain in the ass to have a deep fryer at your house. Ton of effort. There's a ghost outside my window. Oh, it's not a ghost. It's Vicky. She's supposed to be working, but she legit is outside messing around in the garden right now. I don't know what she's doing. Chalupa, no tomatoes. Always did an extra 20 seconds to prevent a cold middle. Yeah, I mean, you could microwave the hell out of those things, but they're either liquid fire, but it doesn't like increase the quality. Like, it might not be cold anymore, but I don't think that it like increases the quality of it. Once it's like not frozen, which is like my main reason for not eating. It's like my main reason for not eating Hot Pockets is just like there's no way that they're made out of like quality ingredients, so I just try to stay away from that. You know what I mean? I try to stick to the lakes and the rivers that I'm used to. You know what I mean? Of like eating somewhat quality food, but I have been eating Top Ramen to save money. But recently I found these little pho bowls that you just add hot water to, and you got rice noodles like on the go. And I have to admit, if I can have Vietnamese pho on the go, I'm pretty much into it. I love Vietnamese cuisine. I love pho. It's not as good as like the legit stuff. This is just instant stuff, but I love it to death. Chalupa, no tomatoes. Just not judging, just explaining my youth. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we all, I think almost everybody in North America had microwave stuff to eat at some point in time. You got to think I'm 40 years old, so 1994, I was like 14, and both my parents worked full-time, so we definitely had to throw some stuff in the microwave type things when we got home from school and stuff like that, latchkey kids, let's see. Completely socially out of touch with the 17 to 20-year guys I work with in the restaurant, music, and entertainment. I have been on an island too long. I don't. Are you talking about like 17 to 20-year-olds? I would imagine that most any of us that are 40, 41, in our 40s, there's definitely a gap between us and 20-year-olds not really kind of knowing what's going on, but that's just normal. Sharpie says, it's when you realize the music you listen to is older than the people you work with, which, yeah, I mean, that's like right in. I've definitely been down that road before. I've definitely been down the road of, working with staff that would be like, that would be like, hey, have you heard of this band? And I'd be like, yeah, I saw them in like 1995. And they'd be like, I was born in 1997. And you'd be like, well, that's weird. Good times, bro. So see you, go over there. Just stop talking to me. You're a child, you know? So it's just a legit thing that everybody has to deal with because nobody's the same age. And if you hang out with only people your same age, it's just going to be awkward, you know? Yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, we're getting to the point where I'm going to end the show. So that's just kind of how it's going to go.
Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Ephasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Icabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Chaos, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Ephasos, Ashalalala, Susus, Minerva, Icabubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love Aphrodite, Ventus, Cuscus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, I love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, love it when you couscous, couscous, couscous. Couscous.